Hey folks, Scott here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of porting work on the muffler on this Aftermarket 660 that was originally built by Lenny Bender, who you can find on the eBay store by that name, and he graciously sent me a dual port kit which I'm going to put onto this muffler, and I'm going to show you how I do that. The second port will go right here on the side of the muffler. So this video is just a quick one on how to do that. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is remove this muffler in its entirety. There's the muffler, there's the baffle. I'm going to be opening up this baffle first before I put the second port on this side. I should say that it's always a good idea whenever you pull something off of the chainsaw where you can observe the piston. It's a good idea to take a look at it and make sure that it still looks good. And as far as I can see, this piston looks pretty good. Looks clean. There are no scratches on it, no scoring. Okay, I've put the muffler in with the baffle in this vise, and I've cushioned it with a little cardboard. And now I'm going to drill a pilot hole about in the center of the baffle. Now I'm going to begin to open up this hole. You can see I've opened it up. I'm going to go just a little bit more. Now I'm going to clean up this hole and get the rough edges off with this Dremel. Okay, it took me a little while, but I used different size grinders, and also used a little bit of sandpaper and got all the slag cleaned out, so no loose pieces of metal would break off and perhaps get pulled into the cylinder. So now we're going to take a look at this kit and see where the best place is for it to go. Alright, looks like right about there is where it's centered on here. Make sure that it's going to sit flat everywhere, especially here. I want to make sure that's sealed well. Also, that I'm not missing the flat part of this where the screws will go in. Sorry about that. So I'm going to be careful that I make sure that this is sitting here flat and I don't have any pieces where it's going to leak here, any places where it's going to leak. Looks like that's perhaps right there is the spot for it. Might be able to move it up there just a tad. I want to, yeah. So I'll mark these holes, then I'll put the drill to them, put a drill bit in there, and these screws will hold it in place. There's also a spark arrestor, spark screen, that can be put in here as well. So that's what we'll do next. Alright, there's a lot of little bits of metal in here, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to go wash it out real good with soapy water, warm soapy water. Then I'll dry it out real good, and I think I should be in good shape after that. Alright, I cleaned this out with warm soapy water and dried it out with a paper towel, and then I took it out into the other room where I took my blower, air compressor and blower, and I spent a good bit of time making sure that I got all the water out of all the crevices and cracks in here. So I think we're good to drill the next hole here. Well, if you haven't already noticed, like a dummy, I forgot to put the vent hole in here first before I cleaned out all the metal shavings, so I'll have to do that again, unfortunately. Okay, I think I got this cleaned up real good. I'm ready to put this part on here. So that is what I'll do next. I'm choosing not to use this. Okay. Let me put this back together. I'm going to be using thread locker on the screws as I put them back into the saw. That's what was originally on them. I want to make sure things tighten up nice and snug, don't come loose. So on each of these screws I'm going to put a little bit of this thread locker. On another saw I had muffler cover popped off, and have another video about how I fixed that, but I always use this stuff now just to be sure, just to be safe, even on the small ones here. Put a little bit on them. Okay. Okay, it's on. There you can see the second port. My only concern is whether this chain brake will be touching that. It does touch it a little when I push it down. So I hope that's going to be okay. Okay, just to wrap this up, what did I learn? What would I do differently? First time you do something, you inevitably find something that you would do differently the next time, and I'll just share that with you real quick. Hopefully you can see where this dual port is. I was really concerned about the back of this, there being an opening against the muffler in the back here and maybe getting some leakage there. So I put this a little higher than perhaps I should have. The chain brake, when I engage it, it does rub on this corner just a little bit. So that's really the only issue I have with it. I wish I would have dropped it down maybe 1/8 of an inch. I think it would clear it fine if I'd have done that, but hopefully it won't be a big deal and everything will work out fine there. It won't mess this up. We'll see how that goes. We'll see when I put it into some wood if it does give me any increase in power. I think it sounds good. Let me know what you guys think, if you think it sounds good. Right now I'm happy with it, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.